All right, so welcome to today's episode of the Friday's Debate, which is airing on Thursday because of the upcoming game between the Black Stars and the Bafana Bafanas of South Africa. A win for the team today will give us an automatic qualification to the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations, which will be hosted by Cameroon. But today, the topic has been about the selection. Are you disappointed that the contingents from the Ghana Premier League were left out and the foreigners were introduced at the latter stage of the preparations for the encounter? Tell us what you think in the comment section whilst I speak to my guys here about their opinion on this very topic. My name is Joel Ishen and welcome to today's episode of the Friday's Debate, which is airing on Thursday because of the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations qualifier games. Good afternoon, guys. Ibrahim, Emmanuel Lenin, and Sports Atom for joining me here on today's episode.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Let me start with you, Ibrahim. The game is coming up between Ghana and South Africa. What's your take on this very game? Where is it going? Considering that yesterday Sudan, they were able to beat Sao Tome and Principe, so now they are paired with Ghana and South Africa.
For me, I expect nothing than a win because looking from what Coach C.K. Akono said, I think on Tuesday before they left, he told us that they've had the best of preparations. And the best of preparations should definitely give you the best of results from the game. So they should win this game. That's what I'm expecting. Because Sudan just won yesterday, and it's going to be a mountain to climb if we don't win this game. It's either a draw or a win. If we lose this game, I think we would not have it easy because Sudan and South Africa will be playing, and though we will be playing Sao Tome, who are minnows in the group, but it will not be easy because. So for me, I'm expecting nothing than a win for Ghana. Yeah.
All right, so let me move to you, Emmanuel. Before the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt, we heard from Coach Kwesi Appiah that they've had the best preparations, but at the end of the day, we were eliminated from the knockout stage by Tunisia. Now, C.K. Akono is also telling us the same thing ahead of today's game, that they've been well prepared and they are ready for the encounter. Are you sure, or do you think that we can overcome South Africa and book our qualifications?
Joe.
Ima?
Come again, please.
I said before the CAN 2019, Coach Kwesi Appiah told us that they are ready. They've had the best preparations. At the end of the day, we were eliminated from the round of 16 stage. Now, C.K. Akono is also telling us the same thing, that they are prepared enough to overcome South Africa. Do you believe that we can overcome them like we did at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium?
Yeah, perhaps we can overcome them because we have a good record against South Africa. In about 9 games in competitive matches, we've never lost against them, and I think we have a good record against them. And as CK is saying, we had a good preparation because 4 weeks or so with players. I mean, he's had enough time with his players. So if he says he's ready, then he's ready. And this is a qualifier as compared to the AFCON. If you take Kwesi Appiah's statement, when you compare the two between Kwesi Appiah and C.K. Akono, I think C.K. Akono is good to go. He had a good preparation with them, so I side with him. Yeah, they can win.
All right, so let me move to you, Atom. Considering the dynamics of today's game, Percy Tau is in a very good form for the Bafana Bafanas. And unlike the first leg, we are not going to get the services of Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, and Thomas Partey. Can we still beat this South African team?
We lack in creativity, but
I don't think they miss when we miss Thomas Partey, it will affect us because we have Wakas over there, we have Mohamed Kudus over there. But we should look at South Africa, the players they took. They took majority, which are the local based players, and they are playing in their league. And we testify for sure that their league is one of the best. So I don't see this game as a normal game that history will talk for us, that because we've met them on so many occasions and we've won, we can just ride over them. It won't be that way. It's going to be a very tough game. And for the game I saw yesterday against Sudan, I realized that anything is possible. So as a Ghanaian, I'll be opting for a win. So as Ibrahim and also Emmanuel said, we'll be all cross our fingers to pray that the Black Stars give us a win this evening.
Okay, but one would say that before the first leg at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium, that time the coach was Kwesi Appiah. Everybody was saying that South Africa was going to be a big game. South Africa will be a big game for us. But at the end of the day, we won comfortably, 2-0. They literally played nothing, especially in the second half. Are we going to get the same thing?
How did we win a game? It was through individual brilliance. I remember the strike from Thomas Partey and the rest. It was through individual brilliance that gave us a game. The reason why people were saying we not have it easy with South Africa was the still inclusion of their local based players. Now we can't compare our league to South Africa league. There's a vast difference. So they coming here and we winning I saw it as if it was just normal for us to win that game because it was through individual brilliance and we had a 2-0 over them. Moreover, we shouldn't let that eat into our head that because we did it way back in Ghana here, we can do the same thing. It has been long and things have changed. COVID has come in. There have been another preparation. A new set of players have joined the squad. A new coach has come. Ghana, we are having a new management. That is what a new sports minister. We have had a new coach of tactics and will differ from this one. I get it. So somebody is saying this is, let's say, an official test for CK Akpono. This should be an official test for CK Akpono because even looking at the first leg, we have to, we have to boycott or we sacrifice our World Cup qualification for that. So I don't think they have an excuse today. They must deliver.
They must deliver against South Africa. Now, quick predictions before we start the debate. Ibrahim, do you have any prediction for us?
I don't usually like to predict, but the possible outcome.
Investors will be watching, so they will need their prediction.
The possible outcome for Ghana should be a win. I think a slim margin would be okay. Something like a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win would be okay. Because I know the last time we met South Africa in South Africa, I think an official game was in the 2006 qualifiers, where we defeated them by 2-0, goals from Michael Essien and Matthew Amwa. So I think if you can repeat those again, that would be okay. Yeah. So I think a 1-0 win, a slim margin would be okay because looking at the qualities we have in our possession now, I think a slim margin would be very, very good. So I think a 1-0 or 2-0 win, or something like a 2-1 win for Ghana would be okay.
A slim victory for Ghana. That's the prediction of Ibrahim. Emmanuel Enin, your prediction?
I'm expecting a positive result. I'm not anticipating a win from the Black Stars. Even a draw will do because we have Sao Tome and Principe to play. So even a draw, I'm okay with it.
You are okay with a draw?
Yeah.
Atom, your prediction?
Just a win. We need a win. We need a win to go through. Irrespective, we have Sao Tome. We have to top the group with a good point that to help us in the when going to the AFCON, the draw to favor you. Remember, if you don't top your group, you may end up getting to play an opponent who topped somewhere, and it may be very difficult for us in the AFCON. So when we top, at least the draw will favor us more. Then gradually we can get somewhere in the AFCON.
All right, so it means that you guys are writing South Africa off, that there is no way they can beat the Black Stars today. Because based on your predictions, you are all going for Ghana to win. Though in South Africa, it is a very difficult terrain for the Black Stars. So you are writing South Africa off completely.
Oh, we are not. I'm not writing them off, though, but I would always want the best for my country and for the team I support. So I wish we win. We are never writing them off. They are a very good team. They are very good players, but we always have to wait for the best for ourselves.
Atom, is it the same? Are you also writing them off? Or you are talking like this because you are a Ghanaian? Atom.
Yes. Please, what I'm saying is that we are basically we are not being biased because we are Ghanaians. We are giving much respect to the South Africans. Okay, they are very good, but the thing is that as a Ghanaian, I was automatically support mine, and we need this win. This win is very important to Ghana. We just need it, and this match it will be a tough match, as my brother Ibrahim said, but it will be a slim margin. We want a slim margin, maybe 2-1, 2-0, 1-0, 3-2, those things. But we still opt for Ghana to win. I mean, one MP Asende or Ghana. So that is what we are all opting for.
All right, so the whole country will be waiting at 4 p.m. kickoff time. Sit behind your screen and you can monitor the live feed on GhanaWeb.com. We'll be updating you both with tests and the visuals. Black Stars will be playing against the Bafanas of South Africa. A win today give us an automatic qualification to the tournament next year. Now we go for a quick break. When we return, the debate starts. Were you surprised that a lot of the local contingent were asked to go home whilst players from some substandard leagues, as some people will say it, were brought in to come and replace the players who were making their names in the local league, with reference being made about the top scorer in the ongoing league, Deusie Taylor. When we return from this break, we talk about the call-up.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on Ghana Web TV.
Welcome back from the break. It is still the Friday's debate, which is airing today because of the game between Ghana and South Africa. But before I went for the break, I was asking questions about the Black Stars call-up and the local contingent. Starting with you, Atom, were you surprised that a lot of the local guys were asked to go home?
At least if I would be in the shoes of CK Akono, that would be the right thing I would do. And somebody who may be asking me, why won't I be surprised after you called players for preparation, then virtually left over 16 players to go just like that. Now, fast forward, I'll take you right from 2000. Then we look at something linking to this one. Very well. Now, from 2000, we had players in the local scene that made it to Black Stars. And when they played, they made impact. when we want to talk for the goalkeeping side, we have somebody like Sami Aje, who was in Hasufuk. We have somebody like Olele, who was in Great Olympics. When we want to come to the defenders, we're having somebody like John Mensah, who was still in the local serene. When we have the strikers, Prince of Good was there. Players in the local scene were making impact in Black Stars. From 2004, we realized that all the players who were good started moving out just to go and find greener pasture, maybe because of in terms of money and stuff. So we have people like John Pencil, who was in Fulham. We have people like Mike Essien, who went to Lyon and later moved to Chelsea. We have someone like Steven Appiah, who was in Juventus. We have like Kingsley, who was in Haas. We were having a lot of players, Sule Ali Muntari in AC Milan, and so on. Now, moving down to this time around from 2010, we realized that all motive of players in Ghana is to play a consecutive season here. When they hit, they go outside to play. Because why? Because they realize that it's very difficult for local-based players to have a call-up into Black Stars. Now, let me just answer your question quickly. From 2017 to now, we've not had any effective league to its success. 2017 to 2018, our league was truncated due to Anas expose. We all knew what happened. Now, 2018-2019, the normalization committee have to bring in something. That is what normalization committee games that will play between. The first one was 2 Premier Leagues, and the second one through all the clubs that will get representative in Africa. Then last season we had our league started very well. Then due to COVID, it was truncated. And this time around, we've had a season that we have just played only first round. Now we've not really had a successful league that we see that this player is very they've played very well, and we can say, okay, we have this most valuable player. We had this as compared to previously what we used to have.
Okay, so
now, as a coach, somebody will say, why is it that we they drop in the best striker now in Ghana, Delcy Taylor? If you are with Sike Akono, will you play Delcy Taylor ahead of some of the players? And from 2010 to now, we've had the best number of call-ups in terms of local players this time around. We had 9. Sometimes we complain, they get 4, we get 3, and they don't even get some to play. Now, assuming the players who were overseas, that is, who didn't come on time, Jordan, Ayew, and co, were in, would Kwame Poku, who is the striker, play as a coach? Will you sacrifice Jordan Ayew ahead of Kwame Poku?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Atom.
Yeah,
I know you've been monitoring the ongoing Ghana Premier League. Are you satisfied with the standard of play so far?
We can do better, but for now, I think it's okay. Looking at how things were, now they are bring back the love and things. I think it is okay, but we can do more.
Okay, so I'm building up to a question. I'm building up to a question. That's why I ask you whether you are impressed with the standard so far. Now you are telling us that we have a striker who has scored 11 goals in 16 games. Such a player does not qualify to be in the Black Stars, but we have other players like Kwesi Otri, who is playing in the second-tier league in Holland, but with low numbers at 6. Mm-hmm. So how do you convince Ghanaians that such a player is better than Delcy Taylor?
Okay, now Delcy Taylor didn't make it. Kwame Poku made it. If it was Delcy Taylor, I would have had a fair difference. Now, Kwame Poku made it to Black Star because of he plays in Asante Kotoko. We know very well because of Asante Kotoko. Because there's no way you tell me Kwame Poku is better than Delcy Taylor. And even you were comparing a player having a double figure as compared to someone outside. Now they've played a season. We are talking about match fitness. We are not talking about the contribution of the goals. Our players have not been so much effective. If, let's say, for instance, your question again, please.
Are you saying that Delcy Taylor is not fit? Someone who has been banging in goals weeks upon weeks. 11 goals from 16 games.
I think you're not getting me right. First of all, let's even take Delcy Taylor out of the picture because he's not even part of the squad anyway. let's deal with Kwame Poku. Now, if Kwame Poku
so
is
you should wrap it
compared
up
to, let's say, Caleb Kuban has not really played, let's say, 90 minutes throughout his career, but he had much fitness because for the past 3 seasons he has played a successful league throughout, as compared to a Ghanaian player who sit home for so many.
So, Ibrahim, you've listened to the argument of Sports Atom that he thinks that the coach was on point to drop as many as 16 local league players, with the major one being J.O.C. Taylor, the current top scorer in the ongoing season. What do you also think? Did the coach get it right, or he got it wrong with his call-up?
Well, for me, I am someone who don't usually talk about call-ups when, like, players are called into national teams, right from under 17 to 20 to the main Black Stars itself. But this particular one got me thought, because I think CK was not fair with the local guys. Why I say he was not fair with the local guys? Before you brought out this list, I think it started with 32 players. These players would leave their clubs, come to training from Monday to Friday, go back to their clubs, go and play, and come back again. So what do you want in a player that you've not seen in this place for the past 3 weeks or so? Right? Consistently. So they've played friendly matches, you've seen them, and some of these foreign players that he is bringing in them, some of them he has not had the chance to watch them play. Just that they were being recommended or something, like he's had some video clips of them. But you've been with these players for 3 good weeks, more than 3 weeks. I have met CK personally at some of our league games when supporters were allowed in. So he's virtually been monitoring the league. And you call up, I think, around only 9 players or so, if not for some players who were not able to come back. At least I think the numbers would have reduced. Now let's deal with the players one-on-one. One, let's start from J.O.C. Taylor. I was very, very much disappointed that the top scorer of our league, which I might want to correct you, he has 12 goals in 16 matches. It means only 1 goal. Karela. 12 goals. Look at the numbers. So it means in every 2 games he will score a goal, or in every 1 point he has a goal contribution in every two matches. So you tell me this kind of player is not worthy to play in our national team? It is not that he's just consistent for this season. Last season you saw the numbers he was racking up before the league was truncated. J.O.C. Taylor has been consistent right from Division 1 when he was playing for the Lily Gold Stars up till now. So this is the time to reward the guy for the hard work. Now, Sports Atom was talking about our players going out for Guinea-Bissau and all that. These are some of the causes, because when the players play here, right, at first we were using foreign coaches. So our thinking was that the foreign coaches, they play and then they go back to their countries and they go and do the monitoring. So they don't monitor the guys down here. CK is a local coach. He's here with us, and then he monitors the guys day in, day out. So he should know the profile of the local guys. To know me, I know the Coven invited the most of them out. So I was expecting a large number of them in the squad. Now we're going to South Africa and Sao Tome. Sao Tome is a pushover. These local guys can handle Sao Tome easily. Sao Tome is a pushover. Now, South Africa, they are also going to come with mostly largely locally based players. Players from Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, Kaiser Chiefs, Chippa United, Maritzburg, and the likes, Cape Town City. They are the kind of players that are going to bring to come face our local guys. Now, you say we are building our local league. Building our local league, we will also have to put in most of the local guys in the national team to build them as well. But if we don't give them the chance to play in our national teams, the guys will move outside.
Okay.
Because when they know that they are outside, they get the chance to come play in our national teams. I think in 2012-13, Kotoko had a guy called Kobna Edusei. He was converting almost all penalties for Kotoko, and he was doing good. Kobna Edusei was never invited to the Black Stars, but Kobna Edusei moved to South Africa into Malanga Black Aces. Immediately he got the call-up. So what will be in the minds of the local players? That when you move out of the country, you get a call-up. So most of the guys have to come. They would have to go out and come back. Look at the player that was called, John Entry. when he was on form, he was not called. John Entry in the last 6 matches for Pyramid in Egypt has played only 46 minutes.
All right, so Ibrahim, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, good.
Now,
No problem.
Let me come to you, Emmanuel. Where do you stand in all this? Were you disappointed, or you think that he got it right? Because at the end of the day, we need to qualify and win the AFCON. Emmanuel. All right, so all right. So you've heard from these two guys, both Ibrahim and Sports Atom. We go for our last break. When we go for our last break, we come back and we listen to what Emmanuel also has to say about this very issue. But the question goes to you. Were you disappointed that a lot of the local guys were asked to come back home before the final list came out? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. This is the Friday's debate here on Ghana Web TV, but the show will be airing today because of Ghana's game between South Africa. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the debate here on Ghana Web TV. Before we went for the break, I was asking Emmanuel where he stands between all of these.
Joe, I think if you look at the squad, we have 9 local players. So you might be tempted to congratulate Sika Kono for being the first coach in recent years to hand a huge number of local-based players a call-up. But the thing is, if you look closely into the squad, you might think we should have had more than that 9, because he had about 2 to 3 weeks preparation with these local boys. And even with the foreign players, you ask yourself, how many of them were present within that 3 weeks of preparation? So I think if you look at the squad, and if you start from the attackers, John Entry shouldn't have been in the squad. John Entry has played about 8 matches for Pyramids, and he is yet to impress this season. The John Entry we knew last 2 seasons in the English, the Egyptian League, isn't the John Entry now, because as at the time he was on form, we didn't reward him with a call-up, and now he's had a dip in the form and he's been called up to the national team. I mean, if you think about it, it's just kind of crazy. So John Entry shouldn't have been in the squad in the attackers. If John Entry shouldn't have been in the squad, then who would have been a replacement for John Entry? Obviously, it's our top scorer in the Ghana Premier League, Joe Taylor. So are you telling me John Entry, who hasn't scored in 8 games in his league, how do you call him ahead of Joe Taylor? And if you look through, you have a player like Kamal Soa. Kamal Soa in the squad who plays in Belgium. For me, I'm yet to watch him go, but I don't think Kamal Soa got a call-up. And even if you look through the central midfielders, Moro Salif of Bechem United, he should have been in the squad. Even against Legon City, that was the friendly. He scored for the Black Stars, and he has impressed Sika Kono that much during the preparation. So I was surprised that Moro Salif's name wasn't in the squad. Maybe he should have replaced Fie Akwa or Emmanuel Lomuti. So if you look closely to the squad, I think we should have had more than that 9 number. If you look at the nine number of players, local-based players, Sika Kono, of course, I think you might be tempted to congratulate him or praise him for that, but he doesn't want it. It should have been more. This is the right time to give our local boys a chance. And even you look at South Africa, we say their league is strong. Yes, they've called a huge number of players from their league to play against Ghana. But you ask yourself, CHAN is made for locally based players, right? How many times have South Africa been there? And what's their performance when they qualify? So it's something that I think we should have had more than the nine players we had, depending on the form of our players and the preparation he had with the players. I think we should have had more.
All right, so Ima, you've made your point. So before we wrap up, let me ask you this question. You said you've not watched Soa, but you still think that J.O.C. Taylor is better than him. How do you judge a player you are yet to see?
I'm talking about J.O.C. Taylor replacing John Entry. And we've had the opportunity to watch John Entry. This season, I've watched him for Pyramids. So, and he's here to impress me in the 8 games he's played. I've watched him once or twice in the Egypt Premier League. But I think J.O.C. Taylor has been consistent. He has double digits in our league. So he merits this ahead of John Entry. For Kwesi Ochere, he has the numbers. I mean, being involved in about 7 goals for William, it's okay. But for John Entry,
So, Ibrahim, let me take your final words, then we go.
As I have already said, some of the players do not merit the call-ups from the foreign base guys. The local guys should have been there. If you look at someone who was called and was dropped, I was surprised, like Augustine Boache of Wafa. He's had the most goal contributions than any of the players in the call-ups. He scored 4 goals and had 10 assists in our league. He wasn't even part of the final 29 or so. So you could tell what does CK looks like before he gives call-ups to players. He will run up to that he will give call-ups to players based on consistency and the performance in your class. Now, Kamal Soa, I've watched him before. When Kamal Soa was with Bright to Dream, he was a product of Kentucky. But Leicester has sent him on loan to one of their feeder clubs in Georgia. He's really well. The goal contribution is hard, but I think John Yawano of the team, Asgo, has had a better season than he deserves a call up to the national team. And he deserves to be part of this team in South Africa now. Now, J.O.C. Taylor is supposed to be there. The other players who he has dropped, like the Olympic sector, Jamal Odin is playing better than Nicolas Opoku. Nicolas Opoku, any time in the national team, has never impressed. So why is he still coming? The last time we saw him against Kenya, he scored an own goal. Against Mali, the friendly was awful. But Nicolas Opoku keeps getting call-ups. I don't really understand why he keeps coming. But there are other players who are proven, and they need this call-up to give them that confidence or that zeal to let them to hit up their career. But we keep ignoring them, and then we go call dead roots from foreign leagues, come here, and then they come. They don't play a part, and then they keep taking winning bonus and all that. So I think CK has not been fair to look at that. You have been with these guys for almost 30 days, and about 29 players, you could drop 20 and pick only 9. It's not fair. It's never fair. Look at the guy he brought to go. Colchester, a 4th division player, to come play when Moro Salifu is one of the best midfielders in our league. He scored about 6 goals for the team, and Kwame Poku, who has not scored a single goal this season, has only 1 assist and merits a call-up to national team. Then CK has never been fair to these guys. No, so these guys would always move abroad and would complain of players in the league, because look at the kind of players they bring in. So he knows when I move out and I play few matches, I'll get the chance to come and play in our local. So he would, for our national team. So they would always love to move out and then get a call-up, because some of the players, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve most of the local guys deserve to be there. You could tell me that Benson Annan is better than Faneti. Benson has never played a competitive match with the Black Stars. All he played is a friendly match against Qatar. Mete played for Ghana against Sudan in Cape Town, and we all saw what he did. So for CK, being a coach who applauded him so much, you should do what? You should give him more chance to see what Mete can do. But you have dropped him out of the team. What are you doing to his morale? You are killing his morale. If the player doesn't have a strong mentality and face up, his career will go down the drain. So why is Benson?
You've made your point.
Lumumba 4 of the team better than Mete? No. CK has not been fair to some of the local guys. And it's quite simple. Nobody can convince me that CK is fair or the number of players he's invited, he's done well on that. It's never been fair. At least 15 players from our local league should be in there to motivate the guys to do what they are best in the second round. CK has not been there. And I've never, and this call up, I don't side with CK.
All right. So, Emmanuel, let me take your last reaction, then we will end the show.
I think, yes, CK hasn't been fair to the local players. And second, this is a huge disrespect to our local boys. How do you call players, work with them for about 3 weeks and drop 20, all only 9? And it's a huge disrespect. The much more I think about the call-up, it appears to me as a fraud. This is unfair. And I think CK should correct things going ahead. Yeah.
Correct things going ahead. But sorry, along the line, we lost Atom, so we cannot take his final words. But this is how we end today's episode of the Friday's Debate here on Ghana Web TV. Don't forget, at 4 p.m. kickoff time, right on GhanaWeb.com, the match will be live. So go grab everything you want, then watch the game comfortably. My name has been Joel Ishen. So we meet again. It is bye for now.